Reasons why you should not become a software developer. Let's see, where do we get started? First of all, you should not become a developer if the reason you're considering it is because you've seen one of these silly inspirational videos telling you that you can do it in 3 days. You can't. Next, you have to be a genius. You're not. You have to love math. You don't. You can't be in it for the money. You are. And you have to start learning this stuff when you're like 5 years old. You didn't. So you're too old. And lastly, job security. For me, you see, the fewer who know how to do it with the increasing demand, that's a lot of job security for me. I can keep my high salary, and it just makes me feel special knowing that I can do something that's hard and you can't because I'm smarter than you. Hey guys, Sylvester here, and in my last video I talked about why you should learn to code. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out. Also, if you have not downloaded the free Getting Started guide, click on the link in the description to get that, or go over to sylvestermorgan.com. In that last video I talked about why you might consider learning to code or becoming a developer. In this video I want to talk about some reasons why you might not want to become a developer. The first reason is that you have to be committed to lifelong learning. Things change very quickly in this field. There's always new technologies and new things coming up, new methods of doing things. So you have to do some work outside of your job to keep up with these changes and continue growing. This is especially true if you're new and just getting started. Maybe after many years of experience, you don't have to do this as much, but you can use this to your advantage. So if you're willing to work hard and hustle, and this is something that you're really interested in and curious about, then you can not only be someone who keeps up with this stuff, but you can be the one who learns these things and goes back and introduces these things to your team and company. Next, and related to how fast things change in this field, is the things that you're going to be working on. Priorities can change very quickly from day to day and even from hour to hour. So you might be working on a project and you've spent a lot of time learning what the code is doing and following the logic and getting up to speed, and then the priority changes and you have to shift context. You may have spent a good amount of time building this certain thing, and then you find out that it's not what they want, so you have to build something else. Also, you may not necessarily be working on something that you're most passionate about, but you might be having to take care of responsibilities and things that need to get done. You might be working on things that are smaller pieces or things that are behind the scenes. There was a former Google engineer, I think his channel is CS Dojo, and he was talking about how when he worked at Google, his team built a tool that other developers use to build the things that users end up seeing. So you might not always get to work on the most exciting thing. Depending on the company and the team, you might also have to do the same thing or similar thing day to day. You or your team may also face unrealistic expectations and deadlines, which could also lead to long hours. And also, believe it or not, depending on the company, the team, you may spend a small percentage of your time actually coding. You may spend a lot of your time in meetings, working on documentation, and other things other than coding. The next reason why you might consider not becoming a developer is around interviewing and salary negotiation. You may have to learn and get good at playing the game. What I mean is that companies are not perfect with how they go about trying to find new developers or engineers. The interviewing processes and the things that they do during the interviews, the kinds of questions they ask, might not be the best to find the best candidate. Some interviews and the questions may be totally unrelated to what you actually have to know and do day to day. So you may think that this is ridiculous and get really frustrated by it, or you can say, you know what, if I'm going to succeed, I have to not only learn the things that I need to know to do the job, but I also have to learn what I need to know to be really good at the interview process. The same thing with salary negotiation. There are these huge ranges of salary, so you could have one engineer who is not as good technically as another engineer, but that engineer knows how to market themselves and negotiate salary so they get paid more or much more than an engineer who is actually a better engineer. Again, these are things that may need to be changed, and you can work on or focus on changing those things, but in the meantime, you have to learn to play the game. And I bring these things up because some people may choose this field because of their personality. They want to focus more on the technical and analytical and problem-solving skills, and not so much the speaking and soft skills, but soft skills are really important as well. Just a few more things real quick. Learning to code or becoming a developer is not a get-rich-quick way to make easy money very quickly. I think there is a lot of opportunity to become job ready and ready for a job that pays really well a lot faster than some other fields, but you do have to work really hard. And if you think that it's an easy way to make a lot of money, then when you face roadblocks and trying to understand topics in programming that are more difficult to understand, it's just going to be really frustrating and hard to push through it. There are some arrogant and nasty people in the field, and also the open floor space or collaboration space in modern offices. So the idea is that rather than having cubes and having all the engineers isolated from each other, they have just desks next to each other with no wall between, or sometimes just a long table in these open workspaces, which is supposed to lead to more teamwork and collaboration. Well, some people love this and some people hate it. It can get really noisy and distracting at times, and it can be hard to get in the zone. So those are some of the warnings or not so good things or reasons why you might not consider becoming a developer. But I can share for me personally, the experience has been overwhelmingly positive. Most of the negative things that I've mentioned are not unique to a software developer, and there are ways of dealing with or working around them. So I wanted to make this video just to show you that everything is not perfect, but of course you can check out my other videos where I talk about how much I love being a software engineer and how I encourage you to give it a try if it's something you're interested in. And again, if you haven't already, click on the link in the description to get the Learning to Code free getting started guide. If you're watching this video and you already have a position as a developer or engineer, leave a comment and let me know what the pros and cons are for you in your personal experience. If you're not a developer or engineer yet, leave a comment and let me know what concerns you have. Or if you have any questions, let me know. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.